So at the moment our game's looking pretty good. Apart from, what's to stop somebody from in the game saying, well, I'm going to cheat and I'll just cut the corner and loop back to the start. So we need to prevent people from going on the green lines. Now, if we were a bit further along, we could do something like, we could have the car's health and make the health go down if it goes on the green. Or what might be a nice simpler start is, why don't we make it that if they go on the green then they have to go back to the start? Well, how are we going to go about doing that? Well, let's start off by same way as before. We want it to run as soon as we press the green flag, and we need to say forever if you're touching the green place. So again, we're going to need the forever if we're touching something. Well, if we're touching something, we're sensing to see if we're touching something. We have to sense that. So I'm going to go to sense, and we're going to sense. Now we can do sense to see if we're touching the mouse or touching the edge of the screen, but actually what we want to see if we're touching a colour. That seems a lot more useful to us. So I'm going to drag that block in. The only problem we've got is we don't want to check to see if we're touching purple. That's absolutely no use to us. There's no purple in our game. So instead, let's click on this purple, and we get the sample tool, and we'll go and sample to see what colour is this background colour, and it automatically puts in that colour for us. So forever if we're touching that green colour, what would we like to happen? Well, let's make it go back to the start. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, we want it to move to a position, so I'm pretty sure what we're looking for is going to be in motion. So if we go and look through our motion section, I can see that we've got move, we've got turn, we can point in a direction, we can point towards something, or we can go to a place. Well, that's quite useful. So we can go to some coordinates, and we can go to where the mouse is. I don't think that's going to be of any particular use to us. So let's go to a coordinate, and we can figure out what coordinate is here. So go to, and the coordinates that have appeared are -190, 61. And interestingly, they're the same numbers that are listed here. And the reason for that is they are the coordinates of where the car is now. So if I move the car, notice the coordinates have changed up here. Now the actual coordinates that we want the car to move to, if it does touch the green, are going to be around here. I think that'll do fine. And as we can see, that's actually -198 and -45. So -198 and -45. So if I were to drag the car over here, notice that our program's not running at the moment. We need to make sure it is, so I can either hit the green flag or just click on this bit just to run that extra one as the other's already running. And if I drive into the green now, oh, perfect. It jumps straight back to our starting position. And if I hold up, that will happen continually. So that solves our problem pretty well. The only thing I'd like to mention, just as a side note, is how do these coordinates work? Why have we got -198 and -45? Well, you'll also notice that we constantly get the coordinates of the mouse plotted down in this corner. And if I try and move my mouse as close to the center as possible, and I'll hopefully try and get to 0, 0, but it's pretty hard to do. Anyway, I'm pretty close to it. This would be 0, 0-ish, actually 1 -4. Now if I go up, of course, you'll notice that the Y coordinate keeps going up and up and up and up and up. However, if I go down, we'll watch the Y coordinate go down and down and down. And of course, anything below the halfway point is going into negative numbers. The same with the X axis. If I go across to the right, you'll notice that the coordinate value goes up, and if I go back left, you'll notice it goes down. 0 being in the middle, so we've got negative numbers going to the left-hand side. Using that knowledge, you should be able to make your car go back to the starting position.